Welcome to my live coaching call. This is Certified Master Life Coach Tina Heitzman. I am so happy that you're joining me today. Thank you for being here. We have a great topic to talk about. But first, I want to let you know that I have a free private Happy Wives community on Facebook where you can come to get inspiration for your marriage. You can find it at facebook.com/groups/the Happy Wife community. I also have a link to that from the front page of my website, and you can click on it. That will take you right there. My website is tinaheitzman.com. All right, so I am going to record our call. Use the call, so we'll chat afterwards. The topic for today's call is, for a happy marriage, believe the best even when you're hurt. This is an awesome, revolutionary topic that can really help you in your marriage. And it's one of those things I think is probably easier said than done, but you will see the benefits of it. I'm going to start by telling you a story that's told by Shaunti Feldhahn in her book, The Surprising Secrets of Highly Happy Marriages. So she tells a story about a couple that finally scheduled a long overdue date night. Now, this couple had deaths in the family and work crises and everything going on, so they really were overdue. They were so excited that they finally got childcare arranged and all the stars aligned that they had this Saturday night free that they could both do this. And so they were going to do dinner and a date. It was going to be a great date night. The day arrived for the date, and her husband during the day was at a golf outing with his buddies, but he assured her that he'd be home in plenty of time for their date. But as the day dragged on, he wasn't showing up, and he even called at one point and said, I'd had a little bit too much to drink. I shouldn't drive yet. I need to wait a little bit longer before I come home. And as it turns out, he didn't get home until after 6 o'clock or so, and that just made it too late to do both dinner and a movie. And so the wife was pretty upset and hurt, but she was trying to be understanding, and he appreciated that. Like, he could tell that she was trying to be understanding, and he offered to go take a quick shower, and then they could go. But as she was looking at him, she just noticed, how exhausted he looked. And she said, maybe you should take a 30-minute nap too. So maybe a quick power nap could fuel him back up. Well, unfortunately, that little 30-minute nap turned into a couple of hours. And so the wife at this point resigned herself to the fact that they would not be having this date that they were both so looking forward to. And she felt sad and hurt. But she accepted it, and she poured herself a nice glass of wine and turned on the TV and put her pajamas on and just relaxed. And finally, around 8:30, I guess, her husband came downstairs, and, he could see she was in her pajamas and she was relaxing, and it was clear she wasn't planning on going out. He tried to offer her that they could just go out for maybe dessert or something, but, she politely declined. And politely is an interesting word there. He noticed that she wasn't acting angry, and he asked her about that. And her reply is where the magic in this story comes in, and it's something that we can all try to work on. So she said to him, I'm really, really disappointed, but I know you love me, and I know you needed this time with your friends. Can you believe that? Oh, my gosh. I'm not sure that I could have responded that well, but what a great response. Now, how did she get there? How did she get from hurt and angry, maybe even, and sad, to understanding and compassionate? So that's really where the importance of this response comes in. When she said to him, I know you love me, this is an assumption that she made. See, most of us would make the assumption that our husband did not care about us, right? Because his actions kind of made it look like that. His actions kind of made it look like he didn't care about her. But she knows that's not the truth. That's a lie. She knows he loves her. She knows he wanted to go out on that date with her just as much as she did. The circumstances got out of control. And, yeah, he made a mistake that day. But instead of choosing to believe that he didn't care about her, she reminded herself that he does love her. It's really, I like to call it bossing your feelings around. You know, it's like catching these negative thoughts. They're going to come to you. She did think to herself, he doesn't care about me. But she caught herself when she was thinking that. And she held that thought captive. And she literally said to herself, that's not true. I know that's not true. I know he loves me. And I know he was looking forward to this date. There must be another explanation for this behavior, right? So this is a tool that you can use the next time your husband does something that makes you think he doesn't care about you. It could be something smaller than a date. It could be not putting his dishes in the dishwasher. It could be, you know, like not taking out the trash or not offering to help you carry in the groceries or something. You have a choice when there is behavior like this going on. There's probably assumptions being made on both parts. Maybe your husband is assuming you don't mind doing something, but maybe you do. Maybe he doesn't know that you would love his help. So we need to do this in our marriages if we want to be happier. This is a secret that the couples that Shaunti Feldhahn interviewed, who are the happiest reported couples in America, I guess, it was a nationwide survey. This is one of the things that they do. They assume the best about their partner even when they are hurt. We can do this too. Even when we're hurt, we can remind ourselves that our spouse most certainly wants the best for us, that they don't intend to hurt us on purpose, and we can look for the best possible explanation instead of the worst. And when we do this, we'll see that the signals of love and care that were there all along. But, you know, when we let our anger get the best of us, then I think we get blinded. It's like blinders go on. Anger takes over, blinders go on, and you don't see any of the loving things that could possibly be there. You're focusing only on the negative thing and the anger. So here's like taking this one little step further and tying it into other conversations that we've had on these calls. When we assume the best possible explanation from our husband, we show him a little thing called respect. And this respect, as we know, is like oxygen to our husband. In the research that Shaunti has conducted, she found that the majority of men, like 95% of men, I think the number is, I'm just quoting that, but it is more than the majority, they would rather have your respect than your love. And the way to show respect is by believing the best about him. That's one way to show respect. You know, take smaller examples maybe from your own life. Like look into your life in the past week or so and see, like, you know, what's been going on there where maybe you made an assumption that your husband didn't care about you. I mean, I could tell you that was, you know, just this morning. Like I watched my husband put his coffee cup next to the sink instead of in it, or in the dishwasher, which is right there. And you're like, you know, for me sometimes when I'm not at my best, that makes me feel very frustrated. And it makes me feel like he doesn't care about me. But I have to catch myself and say there must be a different explanation. He's certainly not putting his coffee mug next to the sink instead of in the dishwasher because he doesn't care about me. That is not true. And, you know, it's really, this is really something that you would just need to practice. And we can all do that. I really believe that we can all do that. And because here's another part of the research that Shaunti shares, and that is that in her research, she discovered more than 99% of spouses deeply care about each other. Okay? Even when they were hurt, they truly believe that their spouse deeply cares about them. But here is the interesting statistic. The your partner doesn't always believe that you truly care about him. So let's just take it back to this coffee cup example from this morning. The coffee cup, my husband placing his coffee cup there could cause me to think he doesn't care about me, but he really does deeply care about me. So there's a disconnect there. Like the behavior is causing a disconnect and a gap. So in her research, she found out that even though 99% of spouses report that they deeply care about their spouse, only 59% of them believed it. So that's where this unhappiness is coming from. And it's probably partially because we're letting ourselves think that, We don't have to let ourselves think that. We can take control of the situation and assume the best about our spouse. You can find this in, I think another great example of this is when you have a honey-do list for your husband and maybe things aren't getting done that you might like them to be getting done. You might assume that he's not doing it because he doesn't care about you. But maybe there's something bigger there or more strategic. Like maybe some of these projects that you are wanting your husband to do require more time or more planning, or he needs help with it. So by assuming the best of him, you allow that positive explanation to come forth instead of assuming he doesn't care about it. I saw that growing up all the time. My dad had a different timeline for projects than my mom did. So I know that's a common one in marriage. And another one that you read about a lot of times is men working a lot of hours and working too hard. And that can create some gap and some distance in the marriage, and then the wife starts to think that her husband doesn't care about her when the reason he's working so hard and trying to, get ahead in his career and earn this income for his family is because he loves her so deeply. You see, there's a gap there, a misunderstanding. And so this couple really needs to talk and have a conversation, and where the wife could say, I'm feeling like you don't care about me, and he would say, I am doing this because I care about you, and I thought that's what you wanted. I thought you wanted us to grow in income and everything else. And then she would have the opportunity to say, what's really most important to me is spending time with you, right? And some clarity can come through. We can break through any negative assumptions and get to the positive ones. But we have to start first by believing the best, assuming the best, even when we're hurt, and we will see a much more peaceful resolution come about. Can you imagine in the example that I shared with you in the very beginning where, the husband came home from a golf outing and missed the date and there wasn't some big blowout fight? Isn't that amazing? I think for a lot of couples, that would have been a big blowout fight. And I think for me, in the earlier years of my marriage, before I gained and learned in wisdom, that would have been one for me. I mean, I know I would have been hurt, and I probably wouldn't have handled my emotions so maturely like this woman did. But when we can do that, then we get the feelings of love in return that we are so longing for. And when we assume the worst of our husband, we block that love coming to us. So that's my message for today. That's what I want you all to know. And if you have any questions on this, I'm going to open up the call, and we can talk about any questions that you might have. You can also email me or visit my website or join me in my Happy Wives community on Facebook. Also, I want to let you know that I've created a free mini marriage makeover to help you fix challenges in your marriage, challenges like this one. Just head on over to my website. It's tinaheisman.com, and you can download your copy for free. And, of course, I'm here for one-on-one marriage coaching for women only. You can just stop on my website or email me to learn more about that. So I thank you so very much for joining me today. I will see you next week. And at this time, I'm going to stop the recording and open up the line. Thank you all so much.